Hi, my name is Issa Medina, and my memories are better than I expected. And also, so is my memory in general. What else was I supposed to say?
That's it. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's it. Simple.
Just a little random little. Nah means. Welcome back to another episode of Callbacks.
Step on up, get a helping of callbacks. Fresh out the oven. Hot helpings of callbacks. I am your host, co-host, Sam Salem.
Thank you for being a friend. And my name is Dan. And I got a little plan to feel on. I don't know. I was about to say something.
Wow, my man was really freestyling for a second.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Callbacks. Episode 7? Is it 7 or 8?
It's an episode number that, if you've listened to all of them, I love you so much. And if you have listened to all of them, right off top, guys, we're gonna get to some laughs, we're gonna get to some serious talks, but come on, give us some reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Please,
that
baby,
really helps us. Follow Danny at followsellers, SELLERS, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. You can follow me at Samuel Sleeves. Subscribe on YouTube, all that stuff. It's
Big
very helpful. If you enjoy this episode, think of one person who might enjoy it, share it with them. We'd really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Danny, your world famous trademarked Danny Sellers mental health check.
Ooh. Mental health check. I need music, mental health music. I don't want to edit it, so I actually we don't need that. No, you listen to podcasts like, hey, Johnny in the back, add a little bit of music. I'm Johnny. So
and Johnny's like,
yeah, right.
But you are our Johnny.
So no, I'm not going to add.
Shout out to Danny for being the one who's on the podcast, booking guests, editing.
The day I can pay somebody to do this, I will pay them as much as I financially can to never ever have to open up Adobe Pro or audition ever again. But no, anyways, but thank y'all for listening. Not to complain and bitch, because that is not good. My mental health feels like a Sunday day party.
Ooh, tell me about that.
I'm just ignoring all of my problems that are coming tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're just like, I know I'm going to have to pay for the price, but right now I'm just going to. You want to know what's crazy? We're on the same page, because when I asked you like mental health check, I'm like, well, what's my mental health like right now? And I thought, you know, I've been like good on my diet, and I'm giving myself a cheat day, and I know I'm gonna feel terrible the next day, but I'm just gonna enjoy this cheat day.
Yeah, bro.
We on the same level right
now.
This is
a really good Sunday fun day. Bottomless mimosas. We got a section. Music is great. Vibing. We got a 9 a.m. meeting Monday morning, but we're in the moment because they're playing that new Drake or whatever, Taylor Swift. That's your vibe, and we're getting it in.
You seem like a great brunch hang.
Bruh, okay, let me tell you something. If I was not financially in a place of in-betweenness right now, I would be murdering everybody's little brunch and bottomless mimosas on this side of the Mason-Dixon, Mississippi River, whatever. I would be doing a brunch tour up and down the coast of California. I love brunch, bro.
I honestly didn't know that about you, but you just give off someone who like drinks enough mimosa to be loose, but not too much where you're ruining the party.
Yeah. But drinking and getting fucked up outside is my love language.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the club as much. I went to the club for the first time in a long time, maybe a week ago, and it was cool. But a day party where I can see people, see the yammeens, wooty whoop, kind of politic like that is by far the best.
Shaking hands and kissing babies.
Yeah, no babies. Shaking hands and
making babies.
And I'm trying to be PG about, at least up top on this show.
Yeah, we try our best. Yeah, honestly, you just seem like you can fit in any brunch scene. The she's, theys, the gays, the boys.
Yeah, vibe. Oh yeah,
the business brunch.
Yeah.
The catch up with an old friend brunch.
Yeah, I've been in all those situations with the brunch vibes, and I can be a really good hang, got your shades on, so you can, you know what I'm saying, see the yammeens, but no one's seeing what you know what I'm saying, doing, you're vibing, you fade a little bit, like, oh, you have a moment, it's 2:30, like, am I fading right now? Because I'm 18 mimosas in, you know what I'm saying?
18.
They just play controller for the 8th time, like, oh, am I losing it? Hit a little shot of water, never mind, I'm back up.
Bro, I am a lightweight. I do not drink that much. Like, I'm good. Like, there have been times, like recently I was traveling and I was at the airport and I was just like, it was a long layover. I'm like, I'm gonna just have a beer and just chill by myself. And I was like buzzed off one beer. I'm a light. I mean, look at me. I'm a lightweight. One time my wife and I, we had just got married and there was a very fancy brunch spot that was all you can bottomless mimosas. And I think I drank near a bottle of champagne. And for me, that is like...
That's a lot.
It's a lot for anyone, but for me, bro,
Smacked?
Yes, we left brunch at 10 a.m. and I did not wake up until 10 p.m. I was just like, I'm done for the day, bro. I don't have the... I just don't have it in me to last all day like that.
I think also, this is another PSA. If you're the person that gets fucked up at the airport, you're kind of weird to me.
What's wrong with, come on.
I get it. You might even take a little edible or a drink or two, especially a long ride. But nothing seems more miserable to me than having to like pee and be drunk in a little tiny seat. Even if I guess maybe first class, you're stuck.
Even still, like, and it's drier. You're up in the air altitude, so it's drier. You're getting even more.
Having to get up and it's a little small bathroom to pee in. I don't understand the logic of people getting fucked up to fly. I'll have a drink or maybe two at most, especially if the place I'm going, I'm gonna continue the party. But if it's a Wednesday evening, I'm flying into LA to go home, I'm not about to have more than like maybe a drink at the airport. I never understood that.
Yeah. The only times I've had multiple drinks at the airport, hey, live your life, judgment-free zone, whatever. But sit in first class when they like just, like some of those first class flight attendants are like very customer service. Like, oh, you want some? I'm like, okay, I'll take advantage. Sure, I'll take a whiskey ginger ale. And then I finish it and then they're like, here's another one. And I'm just like, oh my God.
I feel like flight attendants are like religious bottle girls. Like
or boys or non-binary.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it's like they would be bottle girls, but they just have more.
They have too much. They have too much Christianity.
Yeah, right. They still go to church. That's definitely the kind of thing. Shout out to the bottle girls.
It's too. Like
we still love y'all.
That's really funny.
But look, they're the same. They're the same kind of people. We need them. They're essential workers. They have the same skill set. They're just in totally different fields. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
Shout out to the flight attendants and the bottle girl. And they live a nice jet-setting life. There's always those fine flight attendants that be like, they travel to Punta Cana and London and all this kind of shit. Oh, anyways, that's a good. If you, never mind.
This is treading unproblematic territory. Yeah. So,
but I feel like if you want to holler at, never mind.
No, I'm not hollering at anybody.
I know. That's why I can't.
Lucy, I love you.
I'm holding myself back, dog. Shout out to you and your household, man. I'm proud of you for that. My ism for this week, speaking of households, is to protect.
Wait, real quick. I'm always cutting off. For those of you new, Danny's isms is basically life lessons with Danny. I don't know where he got this. This is my ism because there's a lot of isms out there. McCarthyism, racism.
Exactly.
There's a bunch, but his isms is life lessons with Danny. Sorry to ruin the momentum.
No, thank you.
Take it away.
We need to do that every single episode. My ism is simple this week: is protect your peace, and specifically within that, the people you bring into your life, your friends. We are in LA. We're getting our career started in entertainment, and it is very hard to create momentum in this space when people around you aren't at least helping that momentum or being neutral in that momentum. And even the neutral momentum is still kind of problematic because every day is going to be a hard day. And we always try to relate this not to just us being entertainers, but entrepreneurs or whatever. You might be a fucking mom and just need help running a household. Having people that are supportive of you running your household or supportive of you running your business or whatever it is, I think is super important because there are going to be bad days. You're going to be tough days. You're going to get a lot of days where you get a bunch of no's randomly out of nowhere when you thought you were going to get at least one yes. So the people around you all have to still be there immediately to push you forward to say, no, bro, you got to do it. Right. Sometimes it shows up. We talk to people on this podcast and they get fired from jobs or laid off because the people that they work for see that they're not really into the job or they have dreams and stuff outside of the job. And I think some of that comes from them in a weird, unfortunate, capitalistic way, forcing you to go towards your dreams.
Right.
So in a more loving way, though, friends, family, loved ones, relationships, make sure those people around you are people that give you momentum and create at least a place of peace.
Yeah, it's all about laying that foundation with a good community. Sometimes you need a really big team who does some really big things.
Oh! I'm
just kidding. I knew the reaction. I knew the reaction was going to be crazy.
You have to fight any kids this week? What's the vibe?
No fighting kids. Spring break vibes. I'm just taking some time to do more comedy stuff. And yeah, I think I might have broke up a couple at a comedy show. Nice. But they actually weren't even a couple. So maybe I had saved this woman from ending up in a trunk somewhere.
Ooh.
Because she was in the bathroom and this guy like interrupts my set. So then I start talking to him and he's like, oh, my girlfriend's in the bathroom. I'm like, well, now you just made it awkward for her because when she walks out, everyone is going to know that she was in the bathroom taking a doo-doo and now he's going to feel embarrassed. Whatever. Everyone's like, haha, cheap laugh.
Think she was doo-dooing for her?
And then she was in there a while. And in LA, it could be she was doing blow, but she gets back to her seat.
Cocaine and doo-dooing is a crazy combo. Could you imagine if you did both? High shitting?
I've never done either. I've never defecated.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your story.
She comes back to her seat, and so I'm like, oh, I was just talking to your boyfriend. How long you guys have been dating? And she's like, this is not my boyfriend. We're just friends. And the look on his face was like, wait, what? And the look on her face was like, wait, what? Like, that's and tough. They were both just clearly on opposite ends. And they had a very awkward car ride home, but I think it saved. Very painful in the short run, saved them long run pain. So that's my...
Bro, in this new phase I am in life, with even friendships, finding friendships and trying to be more social, I feel sorry. Now, I'm not trying to be a pandering to women. I feel sorry for women that like men because there's so many weird ass dudes out here that it's like that is a prime example.
Yeah.
Dog, you're probably on maybe your second or third date, or maybe might just be friends.
Right. You hung out with her twice and that's where from.
Yeah, right. It's just like, don't be so insecure to be, it's my bro, just say my homegirl or my friend or whatever. But that's a small, very minute example. But I don't know, I be trying to be social, but people be so weird. I'm like, my couch slaps way too hard for me to be trying to be fake friends with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you.
You have a good couch and a good TV show, and bro, like, why am I here?
100%. I don't even want to come record this podcast with you half the time.
Whoa.
I'm just
whoa.
I'm watching the new season of Succession. I mean, come on.
Bruh, shout out. Yeah, this is coming out. Yeah, RP Paul Logan, man. What a legend. Spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't watched the latest episode.
For real?
Yeah. What the heck? You don't be spoiling stuff for me. Anyway, speaking of poppin' shows, Danny's going to spoil more stuff for me, so I brought up a super poppin' show. We're about to have a crazy poppin' guest.
Yeah.
It feels extra right when I say poppin'. Someone who is kind of taking over the podcasting world, so let's get to it.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Callbacks. We're here with a very, very special guest. We've been talking for the past 15 minutes about stuff you don't need to know, listeners. If we told you people everything we talked about the past 15 minutes, we'd all be in jail. Or just...
No, we would not.
No, we wouldn't.
Danny's always trying to get me canceled.
I'm trying to make us sound cooler. Like, you have no idea what we were doing before this. We're just...
Danny's been Danny's insider trading.
We're just chit-chatting. No, we're just chit-chatting. But let's introduce our guest.
Let's get a proper intro like we love to do here on the show. Our guest today is an otherworldly talented podcaster, documentarian, and stand-up comedian. Her podcast Sounds Like a Cult regularly gets 1 million+ downloads per month and has been featured at festivals like Netflix Is a Joke and publications such as Vulture, and is in the top 1% followed podcasts in the world.
The 1%, the good 1%.
The good ones.
Yeah.
The good one.
You can the good 1%. Get me in the other 1%. Yeah, I don't care if it's that.
Yeah, right. That is that.
You can catch her performing at the upcoming Moon Tower Comedy Festival in Austin, Texas, April 19th through the 23rd. Okay, I don't even know. Okay, we are genuinely thrilled to welcome to the pod a former member of the Delta Gamma sorority at UVA, a citizen of
do the hand sign again. Continuity.
A citizen of the world, between being born in Colombia, moving to Bolivia, then on to the U.S., interning at the United Nations in both Geneva and Paris, and a survivor of her dad's sailing trips planned during hurricane season for financial reasons. Welcome to the podcast, Isa Medina.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah.
That was wild. I need to stop talking. Everybody, it's too much information about me.
Sam's also
I creep people out. It's fine. We can cut out any. We've had episodes where at the moment we got done recording, they're like, okay, so half of that's not usable. You popped out too much. And I'm like, okay, my bad.
That happened last week, right? Yeah. That was funny.
No, that is funny. Well, I remember some of that information I gave on Fumi's podcast.
Yeah.
And then the other is just true. Being in a sorority is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life.
I think so.
I mean, imagine at one point owning a Lily Pulitzer dress.
I never owned one, but I borrowed one.
What is it? Is that like one of those like paisley, like whatever?
Yeah, I wore one to a
Dress version of this Vera Bradley.
Oh,
thing,
nice.
but
Yeah.
nicer.
yeah,
Okay.
but like not cute. Like it's like ugly.
I mean, style changes.
It does. I mean, I went to UVA, so like it's like Charlottesville, Virginia. You know, there was like
Shout out to Tiki Torches.
that happened while I was there.
You lied.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's actually
some of my
scary,
friends
too,
were
yeah.
there when that happened. I saw it on I always say I saw it on Snapchat before I saw it in the news.
What?
Which is wild.
Like some of your friends went to the protest.
They went to the protest that was like
the anti-protest.
anti-protest, and then the other people were there.
The Tiki, they were going against the Tiki Torch
Yeah,
carriers.
they were protesting against the Tiki people, aka Nazis.
I love a picture of her with a Tiki torch and all these white dudes. Like, this was you right there.
Yeah, but it was fucked up. It was really weird because I feel like they were walking around campus with like literal guns and tiki torches, and everyone was like, "What in the like? How is this legal?"
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I went to school down south, so I understand style and like.
Yeah.
This is also for me damn near almost a decade ago, like 8-9 years ago. So like style changes. You know, we all had boat shoes.
But the crazy part about it is I don't think that was ever like in the larger style. You know what I mean? I feel like it's these like bubbles, like Charlottesville. Like if I had gone to NYU during the same time period, I would not be wearing.
Yeah, it's very style is very regional in that way.
Yeah, we were wearing in Minnesota. We were wearing like skinny jeans and moccasins to high school. Like that's not.
Oh, that was in high school for sure. The style of all the guys that I was friends with.
That's tight. When I lived in Florida, it was this thing where we would wear. They called them Debos, but like house shoes. Like Walmart, like $20 house shoes, and it was like the coolest shit to have a pair of Debos on. But
Ooh, are they comfortable?
Not to walk in around like an open campus in Florida. Like they're not. There's no cushion. You know, it was just but they looked cool.
Like a piece of rubber.
I think it's like jail culture, high key. Like people in jail, like the standard issue jail shoes you would get, and like people. Anyways,
Yeah.
speaking of, I know, yeah, we all
You
been
guys
to
are
jail.
both so tall.
Thank you.
I tried. I don't know.
Your legs are like
Over this,
I can't create the same angle with my legs.
That's okay.
It's a problem on airplanes, but I guess it's
know,
cool
right?
the rest of the time.
Speaking of UVA, I feel like we know some of the same people randomly. So, my friend Brandon, who I went to school with at Elon, you know Brandon Williams?
Yeah.
We went to he's in the same fraternity.
Oh,
went to the
really?
Same school, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the one who lives in LA.
Yeah, the little dangly earring shit.
Yeah, I just saw him on Friday.
I feel like because I saw, I'm like, I feel like I just saw this dude that I know really well.
Yeah. He's really good friends. I don't know how he knows my friend Essay.
Yeah, I've met him before, yeah.
Yeah, so Essay went to UVA and we know each other from that. And well, we didn't really know each other at UVA, but we met out here and became really good friends. And then I met Brandon and like a lot of his friends through like the pandemic in the last couple
That is
of years.
crazy. I feel like, Brandon, why the fuck am I not part of the friend group, dog?
Yeah, what the heck?
Shout out to Friend
But
Triangle.
Essay never did anything wrong.
Yeah, shout out to SA. I don't know how much I'll keep it.
Shout out to Essay.
Shout out to the University
This
of
honestly
Virginia.
feels like high school for me because it's just the cool kids talking about people that I don't know and can't relate to.
Sorry.
I want the listeners to relate to us and know how intertwined everybody is.
Yeah, we all know
in
everyone.
this cool city.
Hey, Danny, famous podcasters. Cool, bro. Fucking flex on me.
Essay's a writer. He's a writer, right?
Essay is a TV writer, yeah.
Yeah.
He just wrote his first TV episode.
Yeah,
For
same.
Jury Duty. Have you guys watched it?
I haven't
With
yet.
like Mecky Leaper. And,
Yeah, it is so. Did you know like it's half improvised
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
because the one guy doesn't know that he's.
in a show?
For those
What's
of you who
what's
don't
the
know
premise of the
listening, Jury Duty is basically it's a bunch of actors and there's one guy who isn't in on it.
Like the Truman Show kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people just start doing ridiculous things. I mean, you sound like you've actually watched, right? Because like
Just watch the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
Right.
And yeah, what's his name?
James Marsden, it's like
James Morrison is like the main character, and the whole premise is that it's like a documentary style series, but one of the characters in the documentary actually thinks he's there for real jury duty. He thinks it's a real documentary, and the rest is all like casted actors.
Right.
And James Morrison arrives and like pretends that he's like he is a real famous person, but he pretends he actually got jury duty and he's like trying to get out of it. And like they do all this crazy shit and like the real human person like reacts to it.
That's insane.
I don't know how they even legally were able to like pull all that off. Like, it's funny because dude is a like Sonic movie and like so many like popular Netflix shows and all that stuff. And then he's like pretending to act like, do you know how famous I am? I don't need to be here. And the guy's just looking like,
the funny thing is that the guy who was like not casted, he's just like in the thing. He actually didn't know a lot of movies that James Morrison was in.
Right.
It's just like he does everything that like I feel like the producers like wanted him to do by accident. He's just like the perfect dude. But they shot the whole show 3 times with 3 different real people to get like the best possible takes.
That's incredible. That must have been so fun to be around all that stuff.
Yeah, just improvise as a crazy person. That's like pretty easy, right? So, like, just be normal and be like,
yeah.
Shout out TV. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You want to get our first date?
Wow, you're like getting on me. Like, why didn't you even brought it up yet?
I'm just saying, dog. You're supposed to be the date guy.
All right. Well, let's move into our main segment, Save the Date, where we give you some dates from your life as a jumping off point. So, this is give or take a few days, but May 21st, 2017.
2017. Oh, graduation?
Yeah, you graduated from UVA. You already brought up University of Virginia.
Yeah.
Shout out the Who's.
Is that what they call the Who's?
Well, they're the Cavaliers, but like
the Cavaliers, but we are the Who's, or because we say like Wahoo Wah. I don't know why.
That probably has some terrible backstory to it.
They say it's because a wahoo is a fish that can like drink the most. It's so stupid, but that's like not the real. I don't know what it is.
That's kind of cool. So before, because now you obviously podcast extraordinaire. You're a great writer, stand up.
I love coming on podcasts because they like just
gas you up.
They like gas me up. They're like, you're doing all this stuff. Meanwhile, I'm at home like
having panic attacks.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, but honestly, I've learned that but people are like, even the stuff that not that I've had like that much success in my career.
Talk your shit, Sam.
No,
Be
not
proud
that
of
much
it.
success, but like people will be like, oh, well, you have this. And I'm like, well, yeah, that doesn't count because it comes easy to me. Just because something is your strength and comes easy to you does not mean it's not impressive that you've accomplished it. And not saying these things have come easy to you. I'm sure you've grinded very hard and worked at it, but it's just funny when someone's like, well, they try to justify like, well, I could only do that because of this.
This is all perspective. Like life.
I read something that was like, anything that you accomplish then feels easy because it's like you already accomplished it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And also I feel like it's like weird to gas yourself up in this society. I don't know, but the people that are successful, we were talking about this before, like people that are successful are the ones that gas themselves up or like kind of just lie and like, yeah, I know how to do that. And they don't know how to do a certain thing. People in this like industry have to be delusional to like be successful. Cause you have to be like, I am number one.
Yeah.
But then there's like a line, it's like you have to like, I don't want to be delusional.
I think would I say that you have a healthy level of delusion? It's like a healthy level where it's like, you got to be delusional enough to do the things and put yourself out there and also feel like something that you've never done, you can master, right? Because there's sometimes we like are on stage, we've never done this much time, or we've never been on this stage, or we've never opened for this person or whatever. So you have to have a certain level of delusion to feel like I can do something that we haven't done before. But on the other end of it, you don't, to your point, don't want to be a psychopath and like, I can't have a conversation with you without talking about stand up or just life or how's your day? You know what I'm saying? I do that a lot. We all do it.
But not my stand up, just stand up in general.
But because it is our job. But like after a while, if I'm sitting with you for an hour, not on mic, after about 30 minutes, you should be able to talk about whatever the fuck you're watching on TV or food you like or songs. Like we shouldn't have to only talk about our accolades, you know?
I agree.
And there's some people that can't get over that and they're psychopaths.
Yeah.
So with UVA, clearly you always had like some sort of eye for creativity because I know you had a film minor there. Is that correct?
Yeah, cinematography.
But you ended up with even a master's in public policy, and I know you're working for the UN.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where?
Oh my God.
I mean, I would love to just hear the story of why. I mean, I know maybe a run for office sometime down the line.
I would love to run for office, but I always say it as a joke, but like I'm low key serious.
Yeah.
I always say as a joke too that the reason I didn't stay in policy is because I wasn't born in America, so I can't be president. It's like, why, work for the company if you can't own it at one point?
Healthy delusion.
Bars.
Healthy delusion.
That's a bar right there.
But I think no, I always wanted to go into human rights policy and stuff because I was born in Colombia and grew up in America, and I always saw a lot of distinction between human rights and things like that, and poverty and wealth disparity. And so that was the first thing that I was always wanted to help with. And I'm still attracted to the idea of working in that space at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel when I was in my fourth year of college, Trump won the election, and it really was a huge turning point for me of fuck politics. I don't believe in this shit anymore.
Right.
And also entertainment is a huge way of influencing the public and being able to get your story across. And so I'm why wouldn't I just, one, do what I love, and two, at some point I can always pivot later. But I'm when you're in your 20s, you got to just fucking go for the thing that you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I wish I had that in my 20s, early 20s.
Yeah. I wish I had it before I got a freaking master's in public policy, because I stayed in school an extra year and then I graduated from UVA again in 2018 with that degree because I wanted to work for the UN my whole life. And then after my third internship there, they did not offer me a job, and I was fuck this.
Yeah.
But that's how you ended up at the Shoah Foundation, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because
it's crazy you know this because I deleted my LinkedIn. How do you know all this?
I keep an ear to the ground. And again, anything can be cut, but it said you got a job there off an informational interview, which that's kind of insane.
How did you know that? I was connected there.
I steal people's diaries, to be honest.
That's crazy. But so the head of communications at the Shoah Foundation, she worked for the UN. And when the UN couldn't offer me a job, they connected me with the Shoah Foundation, and they were go there, get 1 year of work experience, and then we can hire you. And so I moved to LA to work for that nonprofit. And then while I was getting that work experience, I was kind of why am I working? I'm using my degree to get paid minimum wage. I was literally getting paid minimum wage.
With a master's?
With a master's degree. And I was fuck this. If I'm going to get paid minimum wage, I might as well be working at a production company as an assistant and work my way up the entertainment ladder. And so I got a job at a documentary production company, and then also started doing stand-up on the side.
Did you, at that point, was it clearly you wanted to do stand-up, or was it kind of, I want to be a manager, or I want to be a director? Or
I wanted to be a documentary film director.
Okay.
And then I started doing stand-up because I was obsessed with it. And then I started producing my own show. And then it wasn't until after the pandemic when the podcast started taking off that I was okay, hard pivot. This is working.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go for it.
Yeah.
With comedy. Right. But I always loved it. I just was too scared to full send.
How was the first starting shows in LA? What was that like? Did you, because we talked about this a little bit before, meeting people and having friends in this space. Did you automatically have a bunch of homies that you were we're friends, let's all do stand-up? Or was it hard for you to find people to collab with? It was
so hard. I feel I talk about this way too much, but you're asking, so I'll tell you.
Hard-hitting question.
I feel starting stand-up comedy in LA is one of my biggest regrets.
Starting in
LA is so hard because
I started in LA too.
Yeah, every year, people like you move from another city, and they're the best in their city. And so every year, it's 20 comics from Chicago, DC, New York, Austin, move to LA, and they're the ones getting booked on every show because they're the new face in town. And you're at the bottom, fucking clawing your way to the top, trying to get stage time. And obviously, I wasn't that good, so the only way to get booked was to produce my own shows. Right. And then get other big comics on it. And so then I was bombing in front of some people that I admire so much, which fucking sucks. And now I kind of have to go backwards and prove myself to people that saw me bomb 4 years ago. Right.
I get that. And I 100% agree with you. I guess since I also started in LA, what I'm trying to take at least look at the positive, because I'm from Minnesota and I just went back there. And their open mics, before we were recording, we were talking about how open mics in LA are just, I mean, I wouldn't wish it on my enemies. They're just the worst. And bad. But in Minnesota, there'll be a 300 person sold out open mic at like the main comedy club, or even like at a brewery. It's like, oh, it's open mic night and 50 people are there to watch. And I feel like, yes, that is valuable to get up in front of real audiences, but some people think they're better than they are because they're like, they just say they just say the rhythm of a joke, and people are just out for a good time, half paying attention. So like, ha. So I think it is a grind starting in LA, but it also makes you like, no, I like when I say I have a tight 20, I have a tight 20 that I know I had to like grind to get, where I know people who maybe started out in an easier place where the comedy club's like, oh yeah, we need a host, just do 25 minutes, where they maybe had a tight 10, but now they think they're doing 25. So I think the opposite. It's so true. It is a grind, but
that is true. I feel
the
like
competitive nature of LA, I feel like cream rises.
That is true. I feel like the reason I don't see it from like that positive point of view is because like I always compare it to like New York, and New York is even harder. Like if you go with like an LA tight in New York is like a New York 6, you know? But the first time I ever did stand up outside of LA was like the first time I got like this confidence boost. Like I did a show in DC because I like was home for the holidays, and I was like, damn, I'm fucking hilarious.
So much easier outside.
I was like, I am like an LA comic and I know what I'm doing.
It's doing comedy in LA, even though I do like a don't tell show in like Orange County, like, oh, this is what America really is. You know, normal humans that are just working class people that want to get out the house versus, oh, I think I'm funny too. I'm just here supporting, but I'm not going to laugh because
exactly.
I'm an actress and I want to look cool.
Or they're just mad in LA because nobody famous is on the lineup. And
right.
Yeah.
But to your point though, LA is one thing good about LA is that you are amongst the best in the world. So like you can see like, all right, the best 100 comedians, I might have done shows with whatever, 20 of them in the city. So at least I know competitively I can be good enough or good or where the bar is versus being in a smaller town. You kind of don't really, if you are the big fish, you really don't know how good you have to be really good. And there's been times where I've done shows or followed people or gone before people, and I'm like, okay, I can, like we're doing 10, so it's not like they're doing hours. But like for a 10 spot, I'm a couple years in, I feel
hold your ground.
You're right. I feel good about that. But LA fucking sucks. From a comedy perspective, it's like, right? Dog, this is trash.
But it makes us who we are. So from UVA, you obviously, like we just talked about, you get into like production stuff, and you realize like, oh, this is how I can like influence culture and everything like that. So I know because of the pandemic, you kind of mentioned you were laid off, or like most people, it's just like, well, production isn't happening.
Oh, I got fired. I didn't get laid off.
Ooh,
I got replaced.
Oh,
shit.
Do we need to fight the person to replace you?
No, I can't because I signed paperwork.
Okay, so.
But but I got fired during the pandemic, so it was easy to like.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't have gotten fired, but yeah.
I feel like half the people we've interviewed have gotten fired from jobs. And I ask this question every time. Do you feel like you got fired because you were not great at it, or you didn't give a fuck about the job anymore, or like it was circumstance?
I think I was good at it, but I don't think I cared enough. And I think they started to notice that I was passionate about other things, and I wasn't going to be like their little bitch, you know? Yeah. It's like once they realize the assistant is not like all in, they're like, I need someone who I can like control their life.
Yeah.
Which is, it's messed up, but it's also, I mean,
I
get it now.
Yeah, it's messed up on their end. I feel like on your end, it's cool that like you had this passion for something outside of this, and you are like finding success in it. Like,
it also was, I mean, I was paid so little as an assistant that when I lost my job and I got on unemployment, I was making $50 less a week unemployed.
Oh, that's tight.
So I was like, I'm chilling.
Well, you're talking about like having a master's and underemployed. Like I used to teach, and like I still do substitute teach here and there, but like, bro, I have a master's in education. Like I've spent all this time like logging hours in a classroom, and now it's like, oh, hey, here's $40,000 a year to live in LA and teach. And it's just like,
good luck.
You're going to force us to have a master's, and then we're going to become experts in our field, but then you're not even going to listen to all like the policymakers in education. None of them have been in the classroom, or at least not in the past 20 years. So it's like a completely different.
I'm happy I didn't go. I was for a hot second thinking about getting a master's in something. My mom was like, you should get it. And I was like about to start studying for it. I'm like, dog, I can't even read good. Like,
I hate reading.
Yeah, like, I'm not a good
So you didn't go to law school. You didn't want to study.
Yeah.
You about to go to law school for real?
I wanted to go to law school. That's why I got a master's, because I was like, okay, my undergrad grades aren't great. Yeah. So I'm going to go to master's degree. get a lot better grades, and then I can apply and go to like a better law school. And I wanted to study like international law. And then I realized international law is kind of bullshit because it's like doesn't exist.
International law, the law of the pirates, sailing the seas.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy. Shout out to the school.
So, well, this does bring us to our next date, June 1st, 2021.
June 1st. Was that in the day we launched the podcast?
That is the launch of the first episode of Sounds Like a Cult. Do you remember what episode it was?
The Cult of Soul Cycle.
Of Soul Cycle, yes.
Episode?
So I know you started as a proof of concept just to prove like, so your co-host, Amanda, author, she's trying to promote the book. You working on documentaries. You guys are just trying to like make it a proof of concept, not really thinking like this is about to be our next thing. But now it's blown up to, it has, 1 million plus downloads per month.
Yeah.
Was it, and obviously, we just love to hear anything you'd like to share about the launching of that podcast. But two, where did you see that? Was it just literally word of mouth? Like they just heard the chemistry? Because I've listened. It's like great chemistry. You guys both kind of got like ASMR voice. It's like a vibe. It's like a great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Hello.
But yeah, what was there like somebody major who reposted you, or where did that first like, oh shoot, we just went like from 0 to 100 real quick?
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like it was a combination of a lot of things. We always say like Amanda was publishing her book, so she was doing like a lot of promotion for her book, and like when she could, she would mention the podcast.
Yeah.
And then also we were releasing episodes timed with like events, like the Cult of the Bachelor we released when The Bachelor came out, and then the Cult of like MLMs we released when like this documentary about MLMs came out. And then someone at Spotify like put us on the Discover page.
Oh, yeah.
And then it like took off. But I don't know if it was just because of Spotify, because our numbers were already going up.
Yeah.
But I think it was really like the timing of it all, and also the fact that like maybe our episodes were 28 to 35 minutes max. Like the first couple ones. So when people saw the first one, maybe like our Cult of MLMs was a big one at first, multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
Because it coincided with a documentary that came out, and so people were like,
Was it the leggings one, or was the?
We also did a Cult of like LuLaRoe, which is the
yeah.
leggings one, and we did those two back to back. So those two kind of like popped off. And then our first episodes were super bingeable because they were so short. So people would just like go back and like binge the whole catalog.
It's evergreen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
super evergreen.
You can have an evergreen podcast. Is great.
I do want to like make the episodes shorter again because I want it to keep being like bingeable.
Yeah.
But because the topics, like the research has gotten much more intense, it's like they keep getting longer, and I'm like, let's make it snacky again.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough balance because I think the art of like leaving people wanting more, because I listened to your first episode, the Soul Cycle one, and it was just like, they're ending? Like I want to hear more. So I feel like finding that balance of like people do want, you guys do such a great job with it. They want to, and there's so many nuances of, if you're allegedly calling things like, is this a cult or not? You're going to want to look at a lot of like data points and hear stories and this and that. So but that's a hard balance of leaving people wanting more, but also doing the topic justice.
Yeah, exactly. And we also do say like allegedly a lot on the podcast. We're like allegedly.
That's the best word in the showbiz.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I work in podcasting. I'm curious, what are some things you learned on the maybe business side of it, or just logistically, good or bad, from starting a successful podcast, whether it be, like help, production, money, ads, all that stuff?
What have I learned? You definitely need like production help.
Yeah.
If you don't want to feel like you're drowning all the time.
Yeah.
Danny's like, amen. Amen. I'd be drowning in the edits.
Fuck this.
I mean, you guys have like video. We just started bringing video back because we were like really backed up. And so we took video away.
Yeah.
So that we could like catch back up, because we bank our episodes way ahead of time so that we can feel like we have enough time to edit them properly.
Right.
So right now we're working with like me, Amanda, a researcher, freelance, and then like full-time-ish, like 30 hours a week, like producer / editor.
Yeah.
And he helps us edit the podcast, and he also helps us with like some scheduling and things like that.
Yeah.
But what have I learned? I mean, I don't know. It's like running kind of like a small business, you know, like you have to like stay on top of it. You have to like always try and think outside the box and like bring in new ideas, like keep it fresh, but also give people what they come for every week.
Yeah.
Which is really hard. Like I want to keep it more fresh lately, but I also don't want to change the format because like that's what makes people like the podcast, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, what was like the biggest, like, what was your, you know, people like in the NBA will be like, what was your welcome to the league moment? It's like, oh, I got my shot blocked by like LeBron James or whatever. It was like the moment like, oh, I am here. What was that moment for you in podcasting? You're like, oh shoot, like, was it like the first big paycheck?
So I did get my shot blocked by LeBron James.
At the Staples
Yeah, we almost signed a deal with Exactly Right Media, which is like my favorite murders network. And then the deal kind of just dissolved. And I can't say, you know, like best wishes, but it was this situation where we were working with them for 2 months and then we no longer were. And it was this, like, they're like the biggest podcast, one of the biggest podcasts. Like we recorded an episode with them, like we were working with them. And it was this huge deal. And then it just like kind of didn't happen. And so it was this crazy moment that we were like, oh,
yeah,
this is something that we need to like really take care of.
Right. On the opposite end, like that's like the negative welcome to the league. What do you have like a moment where it's like my name is in lights kind of, or like somebody reached out or like the big, like I love hearing both the no, that's a good question. I mean, honestly, it was like December. Well, the first time was when we like made the first like Vulture podcast to watch list. It was like the first half of 2020. They were like so far. And then after that, we started making like every list. We were on like Esquire, GQ, Marie Claire, and like every time an article came out, it was like they don't tell you about them. Like you just hear about it. Like someone will send it to you. That's amazing.
And so you're just like, oh shit, like I'm on this list. And
also a little weird that they can't even send you like a message like, hey, you made our list, congrats.
Yeah, something else that happened that was like that. We were like named the next like best upcoming podcast by iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
In the like awards this year.
Ah, really?
Yeah. And
don't you have to submit for those?
We literally didn't submit. We didn't.
That's how great they are.
We didn't submit. We didn't like know we were nominated until I saw it on like someone else's Instagram story.
Like the carousel.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Sorry.
And then we posted on our Instagram story because it was like, I guess it's a vote or something. Once we heard about it, we
Yeah,
were
of
like,
course.
yeah, vote for us.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get reached. They didn't invite us to the like award on Zoom, and then we like won.
What?
Yeah. We like won that award, which is cool because I do think there's a lot of like BS awards, I think, in the podcast.
Yeah, iHeart's the big.
But iHeart's the big one.
Yeah, that is so entertainment like industry in and of itself. It's like, hey, we got this thing, but they didn't even invite us, but we won and are the best there. So like you somehow got
it was over Zoom.
I think it was over Zoom. That's like what I heard.
So it's not like they ran out of space. They didn't even run out of space.
I also was kind of sad because I'm like, I've been wanting to give a speech my whole life.
Talking shit, drop the mic,
But that's like that's the entertainment. They'll validate you and shit on you at the exact same time. And it's like you won this award, but also, sorry, we don't have enough bandwidth to get another Zoom link out there to you guys. Like
it's the same link too. Yeah, that's insane. That's exciting though.
Yeah, it is super exciting. It's also like, I don't know, like I'm trying to stay positive and be like, yes, gonna keep growing, like all this stuff. But it's like, it is this thing that like when it happens so quickly, then you're like, how do I keep it up? How do I keep growing?
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm in this weird spot and I've talked to a lot of friends that are also funny and doing their thing.
You do talk to me a lot.
I hate this podcast sometimes. But like when you start getting to the point where your art's making you money, how does that feel? Because I feel like even me working here at WTF, I work with comedians that are famous and making a bunch of money, but I still feel like they have the same complaints as someone like myself who's surviving off of their art. Once you start having a livable wage, how does that change? Do you feel like it's changed at all, or
getting that Tesla with the podcast?
Yeah,
money. Flex on
everybody.
I love Sam.
Yeah. Well, okay. So 100%. I feel like my co-host Amanda is like really good with her money and like saving money, and I'm like the complete opposite.
Bro, ball out while you can. Come on.
I am balling out. I'm also trying to be like good about saving money too, but I'm like kind of in this in between where I'm like I'm manifesting that I'm gonna make more money and spend my money.
Right.
You know?
What's working? Because isn't that the Tesla? You just put in the deposit and then. And you're like, I'll afford it. I'll be able to afford it in a couple months. Why not? And then
I did put a big deposit down on my Tesla so that if all things anything happens, like I can always like afford the monthly payment.
Yeah.
And it's like an investment.
Mm-hmm.
And how does it feel? I feel like it's just this realization that like in the entertainment industry, everyone's always hustling. And I kind of like get that now because your quality of life kind of shifts. And then like, you're like, oh, I have like these bills to pay now.
Right.
And like, you can always alternate, but it's like, you never want to shift down.
Yeah.
But then also it's like, unless you I understand why people sell out now. Cause they're like, like, I don't know why someone would sign like a 3 special deal with Netflix because they're like, oh, the next like 6 years of my life are covered.
Right.
I can relax.
Just chill.
But like, if not, you're literally always hustling.
Always.
For, like, your next gig.
Yeah.
No matter like where you are in that totem.
That's where a lot of it, we talk about this, maybe off mic a bunch. That's why I feel like entertainment's kind of taking a hit a little bit because it is a lot of that.
Yeah.
Maybe not, I don't want to specifically shit on Netflix, but just entertainment in general of like, oh, they have these 3-something movie deals. It's like, does this person need these 3 deals? They don't even have all 3 ideas yet, you know?
Yeah.
But on the other side, like you said, if I can make my nut right here off of this 3 deal and get a percent of that up front and be able to chill for a year or 2 and create that shit, I'll take it all day long.
Dude, I've had like a big conglomerate company like pay like, oh, hey, we'll give you $7,000 for an Instagram post. And I'm like, I got rent due. I'm not going to say no to that.
Yeah.
And then one of my followers like, hey, did you know that one person at this company is a bad person? I'm like, yeah, they're all bad. Guess what? I'm going to do good stuff with the money.
Do not even get me started on people.
Oh, ads?
About ads.
Oh, yeah.
It infuriates me. I'm like, not even more than 1% of you are subscribed to our Patreon. Like, we literally, you consume this for free.
Yeah.
Like, in this economy, you don't think I'm going to take ad money?
Yeah.
In Joe Biden's America?
Yeah. Right. I'm like, you can literally skip it. Yeah. It's not even, it's like baked in, which means it's not even like on Spotify with the unskippable kind. It's like, you can literally.
That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do.
It is kind of, hey, we're a big fan of you, but now that you're getting paid, we're mad about it. It's like, okay, I guess I'll just stay in this middle ground of being broke, but putting out free stuff for you to enjoy forever.
Yeah. And I think I feel less bad about it. One, because like a lot of our fans, like I posted this like joke reel about how I was like, I'm anti-capitalist, but I'm an immigrant. So I'm trying to get that bag, you know? So, and a lot of our listeners commented on it and were like, yeah, of course, like we get it. But also I think I feel less bad because it's literally become my full-time job. Like I work on it a lot. And so like, this is my job and I need to get paid for my work.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when it's full-time, you're like, how else am I supposed to live if I'm not?
And even if it's not.
Also, I will say, like, there, just like, to clarify, like, there are brands we have said no to.
Right, of course.
And that's like literally saying no to like so much money.
Right.
Because we obviously have like ethics and standards, but it's like there are some that people have like 1 or 2 complaints. And it's like, if I support the brand, it's going to be on the podcast.
I used to work my old job before I started producing full time was at a podcast network, helping shows monetize. And some of the people that would say no to stuff or they would have reservations, it's like, dog, you drive a Ford, you think Henry Ford was a good guy? You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think Tesla's a great guy? Like, no, we just have to do things sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people shop at Target and Walmart, like their CEOs are like horrible.
Yeah,
people.
Dog. Like we got to live at a certain point.
Unless you're paying for ads on our podcast, then I love it.
But I think to a point though, hopefully people understand the nuance of it all, and things that we use and advocate for. There's good things and bad things about it. So I think, of course, the 10 people that complain, that's like the 0.0% of everyone that's listening. But it does. I understand where you're coming from. It does bother you a little bit.
That's why. Yeah, I feel like we like steer away from like reading all of those things now.
Yeah.
Just like
it's not in your voice.
Even reels now too. Like the reels, I just got a reel posted with Funny or Die, and I'm like, reading the comments like, what am I racist? You know, am I racist talking about white women?
Dude, literally comments are wild on Instagram. I would not read them.
I read all of them. We talked about this before.
He's bad at it.
It's so bad. And then I get like, it ruins my day. Like, we've already talked about this, but like one time I was like, this year I haven't really like worked out, and I was like looking in the mirror like, dang, I'm kind of like lost muscle. And then like that day, this guy commented on my like TikTok, like, you have the shoulders of a clothes hanger.
That's
and I'm
funny.
Like, what?
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
It is so funny. That's what hurts too. I'm like, one, he's right, and two, like, I'm now gonna like.
Just because he's right. Just because it's funny doesn't mean he's right though.
He's right.
It was very funny, but it's also anyway. People are crazy on
did you
comments.
see,
I can't
like,
imagine being a high schooler these days. With
especially like, not to be like a woman in comedy, but like, have you ever looked at the comments below?
It's insane.
Female comedians post. It's insane, and it's like, it's evil. It's truly like vicious.
I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like Megan. Oh, fuck, I'm forgetting her last name right now. But hold on, I want to.
Even like Rachel Wolfson has like
Megan
an account
Bailey.
that's like,
Oh yeah.
Did you see that post that she did with Don't Tell?
I feel like I did see something about that.
She made a joke about like how people differentiate between like female comics and male comics, and like all the comments were like so evil. And I responded to one of the comments of this guy who was like, ha ha, she's a woman, ha ha, it must be funny because she's a woman, ha ha. And I was like, ha ha, your facial hair looks like fucking pubes.
Get his ass,
ha
get
ha.
Let's go.
And then, but then it was stupid. It was
support
obviously
bullying.
stupid because it was
We
like 2
support bullying.
a.m. and I just was like pissed.
right.
And then he commented back, and then everyone started like attacking me. And I was like, luckily I didn't notice until like 3 days later because I have so many notifications.
Ooh.
TikTok always on 99 plus. Bitch.
I don't know what that feels like.
But you are always, I could see that for you.
Well, why does that seem like a diss? I could see that for you.
No, it's not a diss.
No, yeah. These also aren't real people too. You go to
Oh,
their
if you
profile.
go to their profile, they are incels with
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. When I say real people, they're real humans, but they're just like, you look at this. Yeah, you have one picture, and it's like, yeah, they're just not
Your
good.
favorite topic, incels.
Did an episode on that?
I don't know.
No. Have we done an episode on incels? No, I don't think so.
I don't know. You just and Amanda
Just
talked about your love of incels and finally being able to pronounce it right.
Our love of incels?
Not actually, but just like it's a funny topic.
Oh, yeah. It's because I'm like, insult? Is it insoles or incels?
Yeah.
It's insoles?
Incels.
Incels?
Involuntary celibate.
Oh, right. Incel.
Yeah.
I would
the people the people definitely
I was
Danny is for the streets. That's what I'm
back on the streets.
All right, our last little
Yeah.
our last little segment. So you guys which again, if you haven't listened to Issa's podcast, listen to the podcast.
Please,
There's a
please
reason
listen.
it's one of the best in
Please.
the world.
In the nation.
Please. I have to pay rent.
So at the end of each podcast, they talk about modern day cults, quotes on cults, maybe some of them are real cults, and they categorize them as alleged cults. They categorize them as live your life, watch your back, or get the fuck out. Those are like the 3 levels. Okay. So I want to do a segment with Chat GPT is going crazy right now.
Yeah.
Do you guys have an episode coming out on AI?
No, but I love this.
Okay, so because the cult of ChatGPT, there's so many people that are like obsessed with it, or so many people against it, and saying like this is gonna ruin America, or ruin the world, or whatever. Which I do see their point, but there's also like people said when the camera was invented, that's the end of art, and look, like photography and everything, like it's also made it better. So anyway, in preparation for this interview, I shout out Julian Stern because he gave me access to his ChatGPT.
Oh, wait, do you have to pay for it?
There, like for like there are free versions, but like the good versions,
The
of
Terminator
it,
version, you have to.
like the level 4 ChatGPT, like the newest issue, it's like $20 a month. So he was like, I'll pay $20 to see what this is like. Like,
Yeah.
let me check it out.
whoa.
That's crazy.
He fed it like some of his stand-up bits or my stand-up bits, like, hey, punch this up. And it like, there's some that you could argue like it changed some wording around. I'm like, some people actually might find that funny. Or like it kind of understands jokes, or even
That's scary.
anything that's on the internet.
I don't think he is like paying to make their AI better, essentially.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's the worst part about it. Every time you put something in, it's making it a little bit.
It's like the face filters on TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. But anything that's on the internet, it can access it. So like, it didn't even like say who I was. He just typed in make a TikTok, in like make like a Sam Salem TikTok, and it wasn't like perfect, but it definitely was like Sam Salem like talks in his car and mimics one of things his student says or something like that. Like it kind of knew that like I've made TikToks like that.
No, thank you.
That's fucking scary.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. What's the...
Yeah, well, now I feel like I don't like how much you don't like this. So in preparation.
No, go ahead.
I actually do like it because it's the paid version.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Can I pee really quickly?
Go for it, yeah.
It's like 100K is the new 10K.
Oh, 100%. Because anyone can get that.
I'm right at 3,600, dog. Strong. Yeah. But that's a strong 3,600.
But you can pop off any moment.
They will ride and die.
You're welcome for at least 100 of those.
Yeah.
Do you have a don't tell set?
No.
Okay.
I've done it, but I haven't set.
I have a friend who went from 1K to like 30K off their don't tell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start posting like foot pics and like go to like get leggings, like leggings pics, like workout stuff.
Yeah.
Just to total rebrand it, you know.
Now that you're for the streets.
Yeah. Just the streets.
The hesitation to say that.
I was gonna say on the streets, but I was like, is it on or for?
On the streets, for the streets.
Yeah, on the streets is like prostitution.
I know. That's why I correct.
I'm just on the street. I mean, I'm just.
You like street corners?
No.
Not unless they have a fruit
racist.
stand.
Yeah, that's racist, Sam. Go ahead. I'm sorry. All right, Chat GPT. Sorry. Welcome back. We had to do a potty break. We're back doing this Chat GPT.
Okay,
question.
so I want to at the end of this, we'll get your is Chat GPT and AI. Is it your rankings of cults? The live your life, watch your back, or get the fuck out. So this is what I did. Julian Stern, again, shout out. He gave me access to this, but we explained the concept of our podcast and how we do like a little deep dive on our guests. And so we put in like prepare an interview question that I would prepare, but like, let's see if AI will do it on you. So this is the talking points it gave me. We don't even know if this is the info it gave us.
Wait, so what did you ask it specifically?
Basically, we said we're interviewing Issa Medina for our podcast. This is what the podcast is kind of, we try to be Nardwuar-esque with like deep dives. What are can you come up with talking points or questions that you'd bring up that would be fun and maybe catch her or the listeners off guard?
So you gave ChatGPT my name.
See, this might want to bring it up because now she's mad about it.
I'm not mad about it. I want to know what it knows.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll get the apology. No, I'm just kidding. You're not actually. I just am a self-conscious boy. So it said...
He is very self-conscious. Go ahead.
This is what it came up with. It said, early performance background. Before her career in stand-up comedy, Issa was involved in community theater and improv troupes. True or false?
I would say false, but true to a degree because I took an intro to improv class at UCB, but I was not involved in community theater ever.
Got you. Okay, it said unique family background. Issa has a multicultural family background with her parents hailing from different countries. The culture diversity has given her a unique perspective on life, which she brings into her comedy.
Whoa, that's like accurate.
Is that like in your bio somewhere or something?
No, but I don't know. Maybe someone else wrote that.
So here's the thing that, again, my buddy Julian brought up was like, it's not like the thing about AI is it's always guessing, it's trying to guess the right sequence of words.
Yeah.
So it like is maybe just using an algorithm of
I mean, the word multicultural is so broad
right.
that it's like, sure, it's accurate, but it's like different backgrounds. It's like, just Colombia.
Right.
Hey, but
you lived in Bolivia.
They're both from Colombia. I did live in Bolivia. My dad was technically born in Venezuela, but that's just because his dad was working there for like a little bit. And then
so now the truth comes out.
Just next door.
Thank you, Chat GPT.
Okay,
we got him.
We'll run through these other ones. This one, who knows? I couldn't find anything on this, but during her time in college, Issa hosted a weekly radio show where she interviewed fellow students and discussed various topics from pop culture to politics.
Wrong.
Yeah, just making stuff up.
Okay, honestly, I feel
you can't replace me. You can't replace me. I'm him. Try me, Chat GPT.
I'm just like doing whatever you guys are doing.
Okay, passion for environmental issues. That's kind of just anyone has, like, sure.
For sure.
Obscure comedy.
They just saw my age and they were like, she cares.
Right, she like coffee and, you know.
Obscure comedy influences. While Issa has mentioned mainstream comedians as influences, she also draws inspiration from more obscure sources, such as foreign comedy films, underrated comedians from past decades. That's pretty broad.
So broad.
Delving into lesser known influences. And so he said, can you tell me about one of the foreign films? One foreign comedy film that has influenced her is the French film, I can't speak French, Les Dîners de Cons, The Dinner Game.
No.
Bro, it's just making
Never
stuff
seen
like
it.
flying on
Okay,
your
so now
name.
honestly, I feel better about this shit because if it was really good, I would have been like, "Yo, we're gonna be
that would have been
slaves
wild.
to the machine."
But also, I think like maybe it doesn't know who I am. I'm not very well known.
Maybe 5 years from now, you're gonna realize that's been the biggest influence in your whole life.
That
just
would
didn't know
fuck me up.
I know you're big into simulation theory, so maybe someone's
in the future,
Yeah.
Inception, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
So
I just got like out of the box moment. I was like,
Imagine.
phew. I just saw us like from above.
that's incredible. Okay, so
Okay, I was worried.
ChatGPT can't be my. So we can rate this a live your life. Is that a strong
No,
live your
it's
life?
definitely a watch your back.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a hard watch your back, I would say, because it's still collecting information.
Yeah.
And I feel like even though it's wrong, it just heard us say it's wrong because it probably has access to microphones,
We didn't have it open. It wasn't on my computer, so we're good.
Okay.
We're safe.
It's
We're
a
safe.
Google Doc. Yeah, it's a second.
Yeah,
level.
but Google Doc, it's like your phone. It has access to like everything.
Yeah.
of
Honestly, at this
Google
point, people are like,
no.
like
I don't know.
I get paid out from like the TikTok Creator Fund, Flex.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Sam.
How do you do off of that?
Not when I first popped off. It was like there's like a month where I made like $2,000 off of it.
Damn.
Now it's like I'll make like $5 a month or something like that.
Really?
Damn.
And also, I don't know what I got to do. Instagram, Meta. I know so many people who are getting paid off Reels who have
Yeah.
way less views, who have way less
should
followers.
Fumi said he posts everything on Facebook now. So what you should do is like create the whole back catalog of like everything that has gone viral and post it on Facebook and it will go viral in like a whole new way.
I've been forgetting
And that's how you
to
make it.
post.
That's true, because one time I got a Reel that was like 19 million views, but it was like 1 million of it was Instagram and 18 million of it was
I
Facebook.
totally have
Yeah.
forgotten to post anything on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's
It's like
how-
if you share on Facebook too, but you have to create a profile.
Yeah.
Profile.
You're honestly I'm gonna do that because I've heard so many
Yeah, for our
comedians.
podcast.
That's how Don't Tell makes like a lot of their money.
Yeah, they're like and
Interesting.
Craig Conant was a very funny headliner. Like he's like, yeah, I got like 300,000 Facebook followers.
And you have to, what I heard from Don't Tell is like you have to reach like a certain threshold. And then once you get to that threshold, you're guaranteed certain amount of money if you hit a certain amount of views. But once you get to the next threshold, they like subjectively choose to approve you and move you to the next threshold.
Gotcha.
But once you get in that threshold, then like
Damn.
you're monetized.
Fuck.
We about to get that Facebook. I just turned into a
Yeah.
fuckboy. I'm just like, okay, too far.
Is it that's the last date, right?
Yeah, that was the last little segment. What do we?
Are you still mad at us, or was this
I was
fun?
never mad.
You're-
Is it because I'm a woman?
You're literally.
Do you guys think I'm mad at you? Because I'm a
Screaming
woman?
at us. It's probably hormone. No, I'm just
Is
gonna
it
go
because
on
I'm
this
Latina?
Latina?
like. Wow, not even
like that joke.
Latinx. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because I'm she, her. People forget.
Want to know? What's,
Is that really what it?
Latinx is so
Just
that
like the
it
broad, yeah.
broad includes everyone.
but
but
once
it's
you're talking
like-
about the individuals,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
I'm Latina.
Oh,
talk
yeah,
over
yeah.
you and explain this, okay? As
Yeah.
a white man,
I know,
let me
right?
just mansplain this shit. Want to know what's
No.
funny? I one time posted this. It's crazy how some people. Let me know if you have experience with this, where some people try so hard to be progressive that they come back around and are racist.
Oh yeah, horseshoe theory.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's
Real
a name for
thing.
it because I one time posted a joke. So when I substitute teach, the joke is essentially I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is cool, guys. I did start dressing depending on the school that I go to. Like if I'm in a school with primarily black students, I'll wear Jordans. If it's a school with primarily Mexican students, I'll wear the Nike Cortezes. And if it's a school with primarily white kids, I wear, and people shout out like Vans, whatever. And I'm like, no, a bulletproof vest. Like
No,
it's always the
that's
white.
fine.
Yeah.
So it's like the point is, yeah, it starts off a little like, but it's like a comment on white people.
Yes.
And someone commented like on my reel, like as it kind of popped off or whatever, and someone was like, wow, Mexicans. And it's like, yeah, if these kids at this school, I know
Yeah.
for a fact are specifically Mexican, it is
Right.
not racist to call
Yeah.
people from a group of country what the country
You
live
literally
in.
knew
LA.
they were Mexican.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I have a joke like that too, where like it's like you start off. That's comedy. You start off
Yeah, yeah,
walking
yeah.
the line, and then you like have the punchline. I think I told you about this one, but I have one where like I say like all Latinos are homophobic, and I'm like Latinos are so homophobic, and if I do the joke on the east side, everyone's like ass clenches up, and then I'm like they believe in gay men. You know, they've gotten better. They
Yeah.
just don't believe in gay women. they say things like, oh, she's not gay. She just hasn't had this dick. Like, she hasn't had this dick. And I'm like, Dad, you can't say that. And like, I feel like people, once I get to the punchline, they like release.
Yeah.
But it's like, there are other little parts of it that are funny. It's like, relax.
Yeah, people just, it's an LA thing.
It's like, at least wait to hear the punchline before you get offended. But you can be offended by a joke if it's offensive, but like, at least let me get to my punchline.
But even to your point, I've said the word Mexican before, and people clinch up as if Mexican is a derogatory thing. It's like, dog, it's a country, dog. What do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are from there. We live in LA. We live like 2 minutes from Mexico. You know, we're right. It's Los Angeles, dog. You know,
I think the reason people do that, which is because like a lot of like my life, I just got called Mexican.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's frustrating.
I get
It's
it.
not
That's
derogatory though. It's like, it's just like frustrating to be like, they're wrong.
Yeah,
but it's also like, it is this weird thing where it's like, I love Mexicans.
But it's also not even Mexicans complaining. It's like, it'd be white people like, oh, you said the word? You know, it's like, you're not even Mexican, bro. Relax.
And it's also it's a nationality.
Yeah.
It's not a good derogatory.
People, right. It's humans. I don't know. I guess we're complaining about being funny, but
Danny, this is the longest we've gotten to really for you to get to race.
Yeah, also
oh, really?
But also, we haven't done the pre. So
yeah, you're right. We probably haven't done the pre-recording. This every single time.
I get really racy every episode, and a lot of our
talking
listeners,
about races or Mormonism right away off the joke.
Were you Mormon?
No,
he just
gives off Mormon vibes.
Yeah,
He's
you
white.
do for sure.
He's married. You know what I'm saying? He's like in a good relationship.
Tell me, I'm in
Mormon.
What else is Mormon about me? Go ahead.
Glasses,
eyes, hair, glasses, skin color, height.
Thank you.
Marriage.
Did he say he's from Utah? Like
you're from Utah?
No, I'm from Minnesota.
But he gives Utah vibe, Provost,
Provost is like a
honestly, like just like facial structure.
Okay, this is worse than the guy who told me I have clothes hanger shoulders. So
this is good.
No, I feel like if you're like if you are legitimately like a straight white man, being Mormon is like for you wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
because you're straight.
I'm just messing around. It's not a bad thing. Well, while we're on this, let's just make it more about me because I've been getting a lot of different people guessing wrong on this. Maybe whatever I said my age. Do you feel comfortable guessing my age? Is that okay?
Okay, so I would assume you're just probably like my age, which is 19.
Almost.
Yeah, I just learned to drink. But
alcohol.
I'm like, I do this thing on my podcast where I try to keep my age a secret.
Okay.
So I like always reference myself as like 21, but I would think, unrelated to my age, that you are like 28.
Okay, cool.
But but then because you're married and you're friends with Danny, then I'm like, maybe you're like 31.
I'm 30. Hold on, I'm 30. Don't put the extra one on me.
Yeah, but he's married. You were.
Yeah.
I'm 30. Yeah. So
okay.
It's just funny because I've been weirdly getting people who like, I guess don't pay attention to hairlines. So they're like, you're like 23, right? And I'm like, great.
Also,
and
if I didn't know all those things about you and I also like hadn't met you and I just looked at you, I could also, I wouldn't say 23, but I could say like 25.
So we have this theory. We were talking about this yesterday. everybody in LA, whether you're famous or not, is like the most attractive person in their town. So when you, I just realized. I want
to know what the subtext of that was.
Confirm or deny.
I don't know
either one is bad in this situation.
Yeah, but you look good, girl.
No, that's true. No, I grew up in a like city suburb, so I feel like if you come from a small town, for sure you were the hottest person in your town. But if you come from like a big town,
it's middle tier.
Not me. I've always been busted and disgusted.
That's why he got married early.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I had to lock a baddie down, real estate agent.
Oh, baddie down.
Sugar mama.
Bro,
I need one.
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. People, anyways. People are like, how are you able to make it in LA off like social media and stuff? I'm like, it's pretty easy. Just marry someone successful, obviously. Like,
dude, I've been trying to do that for years.
Yeah, shout out to that.
So you were saying?
I thought you were like, so I'm not going to marry you.
I know. So Danny, fuck you. No, everybody in LA is low key 30, or give or take a year or two. But we all look like we're 24 until we're like 40. You know, like, until you hit 38, we all look like we're damn near 28.
Yeah,
you know?
Like everyone looks between 24 and 28.
Think about all the TV shows you watch that kids are in high school, quote unquote. Most of them people were like 25.
Yeah.
26, 27.
And especially as a woman, you like truly, it's so stupid, but I feel like you do kind of want to keep your age a secret because of casting and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's horrendous when they're like, oh, you hit a certain age.
Yeah.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio won't even date you at a certain point. It's like
I know. I actually I went to this party with like Amanda, and there were like a lot of like famous like people there, and I
Like
was
you?
like, no, I was the least. I was just a rando. And there were these like hot older men. They were like, 38, 39. And I was like, ooh, like maybe I could get with one of them because like I'm young. But then I was like, I'm not 24.
Yeah, they want that.
Which fucking is wild. They literally only date 24-year-olds.
Yeah, if you're
Nikki
creeping.
Glaser has the best joke about that. She's like, all my guy friends that are in their 40s, they're like, yeah, I just love a girl with an old soul. And then they date a 24-year-old. And it's like, yeah, of course, the only old thing about her is her soul. That you like, you don't want anything else. Which obviously I messed that up. It's a much better punch to it, but like it's.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't guess I want to say too much on here, but it does feel weird.
I know I talk too much.
No, just like
you literally are making a living off of talking on a podcast.
Dating,
like,
even being 30, dating a girl that's like 23 seems insane to me now.
Yeah.
Even. Like it would be rough for me to have a conversation with someone who had Twitter in like middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like had Instagram and
because it is like a huge. It is like it's not a regular 30 to 23.
This is
it's
technology
like a
jump.
technology
Yeah.
It's a different generation. That's you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to.
I am 23 though, so.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Unfortunately. Go ahead.
I probably too. I was just gonna say real quickly, like the kids in high school, like the 25-year-olds playing high school. Like I only taught seniors, and I walked in and I was like, oh my God, these kids look so young. And then one year I had to teach middle school, and I walked into the 6th grade class, and I thought I walked into the wrong classroom because you're just so used to like Hollywood being like this 17-year-old's playing a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And I walked into the 6th grade class, and I literally am like, in my head, I'm like, oh, this is the 3rd grade classroom.
Yeah.
And it's just like, like go, like, I don't know. The kids are so much, it's actually kind of messed up how Hollywood does cast so much older for it. Cause then you like see kids and like they're babies.
Children.
They are babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know if you've seen like kids at like the mall and stuff in LA. It is a different world, like because it's like an industry city. Like I feel like even like high school kids in LA dress like and put their makeup on like they're much older, and that's like
the style thing. You go back to like the regional styles, different.
And
shit.
because social media, they see how everyone does it, so they have access to it. So
to close out the episode, every episode, I don't like asking people what's next because that's like stressful. But I do want to have a timestamp, almost like a message in a bottle of what are a thing that you can look back at and be happy that you're planning on doing in the next year or 2 years, or calling your shot, so to speak. So a little like virtual message in a bottle that you can open back up a year from now or 2 from now.
10
or even 10 from now.
I think like that is for sure happening is like I'm going to Moon Tower in a week, which is exciting for stand up. I feel like it's like I've done other festivals, but I feel like this is like it's like one that there's a lot of big names.
Yeah.
And then Amanda and I are doing a live show in London at the end of May, which is going to be exciting.
I'm absolutely chuffed to hear that.
What are you going to do in London? That seems so tight.
We're doing like the Leicester Theater, which is exciting.
She does theater.
It's a theater.
That's fine.
We have like a big listener base in London, and Amanda's already in Europe, and I have a wedding in Europe, and so we were like, let's just like do a show while we're there. So I'm excited. We haven't announced it yet, but
ooh, we get the exclusives. Callbacks exclusive.
Callbacks exclusive.
The tea. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope I was like funny enough. I feel like I didn't like make that many jokes.
I am now in the cult of Issa Medina. I'm joining, so
woo! Now we can all be friends.
We're gonna be branded. Yeah, this is a Yellowstone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen Yellowstone? They brand it. They
brand their asses on Nixium.
What? On Nixium?
Yeah, listen to the podcast, Cults, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, but on the
talking about the show Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Are you?
Wait,
are you
Yellow Jackets? You mean?
No, Yellowstone is like one of the
Kevin
biggest.
Costner, the white. All the white people.
I don't watch that.
I don't watch it either. I was gonna say, are you like a 50-year-old white dude from the Midwest?
Yeah, bruh.
Well, Nixium
name
is
is
like
Dan.
the big cult that like they did the documentary on HBO Max, and they did brand their ass.
Like,
a lot of fraternities brand asses too.
Yeah, I'm not branded. But I could have
thank God.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
How do we follow you? I guess I hate doing that in the end because no one listens to this point. But how do we
You
follow
guys
you?
should do that before the goodbye.
Yeah.
But it's okay. If you want to listen to my podcast or follow my comedy, you can find me on my Instagram at Isa Medina, ISAAMEDINAA. And link in bio, baby.
Ooh, peace.
Smash that link button.
Peace.
Bye.
Wow, what an amazing conversation we just had.
Isa Medina, I'm a big fan of the stand-up, big fan of the podcaster.
Yeah, man.
Can't wait to see where. I mean, it's one of those people. That's what's crazy about LA is like she's already made it in a lot of ways. Like you are full time,
Yeah.
paying your bills and having savings like off of a podcast and other stuff. But like, there's just so many levels to making it, and it's just I'm excited to see where someone like her is going to go because she's very nice, very talented, and it just feels like the sky's the limit.
Yeah, our perspective is skewed because we're all here together. But you tell yourself 2 years ago or even a year ago, can I pay my bills off of my desires or whatever my talents? You're professional at that point, right? You know,
bro. 2.5 years ago, I had a teaching job where the principal hated me. I'd show up to school early just so I had time to cry in my classroom with the lights off.
Nice, emotional Sam,
bro. Like literally just cussing in the dark, just crying in my classroom. Like this is they're not letting me like teach the way I want to teach and connect with students. And I know I have something more to offer the world. And I was just in my feelings. And that's just 2.5 years ago. And now it's like, man, I get to headline some shows. I got companies flying me places to do shoots. So anyway, I guess I just wanted to flex for a little bit, but let's humble me for a second because if you listen to our first episode, me and Danny did deep dives on each other. Yeah. I went way harder on him because I deleted some of my social media.
I had to cut some stuff out. It was so deep.
So we'll explain for those listening on audio, but if you want to see the visual, that's why you got to hit the YouTube channel.
Yeah, or at least maybe we'll post a little clip on.
We'll post a little something. This is Easter Sunday, 2012.
So not even that long ago, but it's long ago, but not like relative to our age.
11 years ago.
I know, but you weren't like 8. You were still.
I wasn't 8. I would rather show a picture of me 8 than the
sophomore
picture I'm about to show. 2012 was freshman or sophomore year of college. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was a year behind you in school. Anyway, Easter weekend 2012, Sunday church close. I'm so embarrassed to show this.
Oh my God. Bro, you was ugly as hell. Golly.
I honestly, it's weird. I look back and I'm like, I'm balding now or like thinning. I'm not balding, God. I'm thinning. I didn't deserve a full head of hair because the haircut that I had, the outfits. For those of you on...
This is a crazy fit too. Bro, I mean, I'm going to airdrop this to myself. You also had the red hair was really red at that point too.
Yeah, because I had a full head of curly hair that was unkept. I'm wearing a white button-up shirt with a tie, Easter pastel tie with a blue sweater vest and red pants. And it's not even pictured in that. I was wearing bright blue Sperry boat shoes.
Oh no, not the fucking blue on blue. That would have been insane to see. I would have loved to see that.
I don't care. It was a drip. I don't care. It was a drip back then.
Yeah. I think back then though, this is not that bad. I think you just look very different and look very
ugly. Yeah.
You're very ugly.
Do you think I'm decent looking now then?
Yeah, you look very. For you,
you're good looking. For how good you could look, you've
had a LA glow up. I'm telling you, my premise is everybody in LA. We just said this. I'm not gonna say it again.
Yeah.
But everybody in LA you're already probably the more attractive person, at least bone structure and potentially wise, like in your family with height,
right?
Whatever. That you just need a little bit of money and a little bit of sunlight and vitamin D all the time, and next thing you know, you're back popping.
Well, you bring up the term glow up. I want to talk about this just a tiny bit because people say that like that's such a nice thing. I don't really post pictures on Instagram. I posting a picture in this economy could not be me. Reels only. That's how you grow the following. But it was my wife's birthday, and I was like, okay, if I won't even post a picture of my wife on her birthday because it's not good for the algorithm, I'm like, what am I even doing? Like, I just need to be a regular person a little bit. Moment. I post a couple pictures of us, and then I post the first picture of us ever together, and it's saying my hair's all out of control. And so many people commenting, holy glow up Batman, man, glow up. Oh, you aged into, and I'm like, you think you're saying something nice, but all you're saying is you're an ugly ass kid.
Yeah, 100%. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's also what I said in a polite way.
It's the same way as when people say, oh, good for you. I'm like, are you saying like good job, or are you saying, oh, well, for you, that's the best you could do. That's good for you. I mean, if I did that, I'd kill myself. But for you, good for you, man.
100% what they meant. And I feel bad about agreeing with them. But looking at that picture now, you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Vogue, hit me up. Give me some modeling jobs. I mean, I guess, it's better to be ugly at 19.
All right. Everybody's a little bit
decent looking at 30 than decent looking at 19 and ugly at 30.
This is when it counts. You know, when you play the game, like your grades don't count until you get to high school?
Right.
This is when it counts, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you peaked in high school or in college, it's like you get made fun of. But the people that are doing well now, when we're all late 20s, early 30s, that's what's really winning.
That's the funny thing. I was talking about this with there's sometimes you'll see comics who are like in the stand-up community, they're like popping on social media. I keep saying popping, I really got to stop. They're exploding on social media. They're doing well on social media. Their comedy's going well and they're headlining, and they're like a very like attractive person. Like there's this one dude in particular, like he's like just classic American, like square jawline, whatever. Like, what do you say?
So you talking about me?
Yeah, of course I'm talking about you.
Go ahead.
And but they're also, and just looking on them, like judging them, it's like, oh, on paper you're probably like a douche because you have a social media following, you're very good looking, and you're killing it in comedy. But then you talk to them and they're like the most humble person ever, and you're like, something's not adding up. And then you found out it's like, they were a loser in high school. Yeah, those are the best people. It's like, oh, you're otherworldly now, but for some reason you were either the weird theater kid that even though you were very talented, it was not cool to try hard and be talented in high school. So it's always funny in LA, the people who are like so successful and amazing, but they're still like, you're humble because you either had trauma you had to go through, or because you were kind of just like.
I've also seen it go the other way though. I've also seen people be lame as hell back in the day, and their insecurities of being lame for so long. They now like, I was hazed, so now I got to haze upon you. So, but
now they're trying to do what was cool in high school. They're trying to be the cool high school kid now at 30, and you're like,
but anyways, no, I totally get that. But I think for the most part, that is what happens with what you explained. But anyways, man, that was another episode of Callbacks. This was fun. Follow us, like, rate, subscribe. You do the whole. What's the thing you say?
Follow us at Callbacks Pod on Instagram, on TikTok, at YouTube.
Yeah.
Email us if you want to, give us some feedback on callbackspod@gmail.com. Also, I've had like friends, if you're one of my friends listening who've sent me a nice text about the podcast, this is kind of messed up what I'm about to do. I love you. Thank you for the text. Put it on Apple reviews.
Yeah.
Take that nice stuff, put it on Apple reviews, launch us up in the algorithm.
Yeah.
We love you.
Time to get real fake.
Yeah. But that's been another episode. He's Danny. I'm Sam. We out.